Time right now, 8:19. We continue our coverage now this morning of this Continental plane crash. We're still getting updated information. And again, we just learned the death toll is now higher. We now know 50 people have been killed in this crash. Apparently, an off-duty airline official got on the plane, so he obviously wasn't on the register, and now we know that he was on that flight.
Off-duty pilot with Continental. Well, Jennifer Donchez, our travel expert from VIP Vacations, joins us now. Good morning. Thank you for being here. Not the way we wanted to start our segment here, but when we look at this, we went 2.5 years without a crash, and now we've had 2 incidents, including the Miracle on the Hudson, in the last month. Looking at the industry as a whole, what does this do to the industry when passengers start questioning what's happening in the air?
Right. We have to figure out if this is a safety issue or not. Could this have been prevented? Because it's been 2.5 years since there was a fatal crash, and still statistically flying is the safest way to travel. So people have to remember that, because right now the industry as a whole, occupancy on flights is down, and so this is not going to help the numbers. So people have to just bear in mind the statistics. And also, I think we're going to hear a lot of weather-based problems having to do with this flight.
That's what I was going to ask you. Obviously, there's still speculation as to what could have happened. We were talking with one of our reporters in New York this morning, and she says that plane specifically was delayed for 2 hours because of a wind delay. But I think for our peace of mind, if people are saying, is it a mechanical problem? Because then the next time you're ready for a flight and you hear, this plane's having mechanical problems, let's face it, some people will be a little anxious to get on. But if it's weather, then that kind of changes it a little bit.
Right, because, you look at the last 2 major incidences. If this was weather and the other one had to do with birds, unfortunately it still is going to go back to the airlines, and what are they to do? Because it really wasn't their fault. If you're going to take fault, it doesn't have any consolation for the family members involved. But we still have to remember, safest way to travel. And if you have plans, even after 9/11, everybody was completely terrified to fly. And I'm sure we're going to have those repercussions right now, too.
You speak about that. Obviously, loss of life is the most important thing here, but it does hurt the industry down the road with like this. The airlines are coming out of another bad quarter. Southwest now 2 straight quarters where they've not made money. And yet, when you look at this as an industry as a whole, oil prices are down. They're down near $40 a barrel, and that was the excuse before why they weren't making money. So what's going on now?
Well, the economy. People aren't flying. That's the big thing. If the airlines can't fill the planes, they're not going to make money. And so what they've tried to do is to send those teaser fares, the ones that are under $100 each way, but that's not covering their costs. We have, as a society, have to remember, if you're getting on a $69 each way flight to Orlando, that's great for you, but that's not overall going to be beneficial to the airlines. And they also announced that overall, all of the U.S. airlines have parked in the desert 500 planes. That's astounding. That's equivalent to 1 major airline going under. And it's because they cannot fill these planes. And if they fly with unfull planes, they lose money. So we have to continue to fly if we want to keep the airlines in operation. And we need to have that as a country.
It's an interesting angle to this. It's something that we haven't heard, and I'm sure now today a lot of people will be talking about.
Jennifer Donchez, VIP Vacations, thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Jen?